I popped out to do some plant shopping a couple of days ago. If you're on my Patreon, you will already have seen these, but I started out by going to Dobbies Garden Centre, and as you can see, they had this kind of sea of variegated Monsteras, and I think it was their special that they were having on. And they had Monstera Albos. They were priced at $49.99 and they were fairly small. There was just one vine in the pot. And then they also had the Thai Constellation, which was a little bit bigger and a bit more mature, some of them were, and they were $69.99. And they had loads of these. For me personally, these prices were still a bit high, especially for the size of plant they were offering. Considering that these Monsteras are now fairly common, they're not really rare anymore. I think maybe the retailers are trying to milk it a bit. So I felt the prices were a bit too high. I don't know what you think. They are pretty readily available now. I think you can get better deals elsewhere. But the thing that really stopped me from purchasing was the fact that Dobbies plants on this particular day, unfortunately, were infested with spider mites. They were in pretty much every plant. And this isn't something that I always find in Dobbies. I often find that Dobbies are quite good when it comes to pests, but this time I don't know what was going on, but there were just spider mites everywhere. You could see them scurrying over all the plants. So obviously I didn't fancy buying anything, but the rest of the plants they had there, they weren't really that interesting. They were all the kind of common ones that you've seen a million times before. There wasn't anything that stood out to me. So yeah, I did end up going to another garden centre. I went to Webb's Garden Centre. So the first one I found was this one. This is the Scindapsus pictus. I do have the Scindapsus exotica, which has kind of bigger leaves and more variegation, but I've always kind of fancied one of these, so I decided to give it a go. And it's still a little one at the moment. I'm wondering, does this one grow a little bit faster than the Scindapsus exotica? I kind of think it might do, but obviously I have no idea yet because I've just got it. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to have a go at growing a nice trailing one of these. So I'm looking forward to seeing how fast this one grows, how it grows, whether it's different to the Scindapsus exotica. I'm hoping it will be. I believe this one's a little bit more common and easy, so I think maybe this one will grow a little bit differently. But if you have this one and yeah, you want to share your experience, I would love to hear what you think of this plant and how it grows. But yeah, there's a few vines in the pot, so hopefully I'll have a nice full plant in no time. This is the perfect time to be starting a new plant anyway, because we're just going into summer now. So yeah, it's nice and warm, so this plant should hopefully have a really good start. And at Webb's they also had a really nice selection of Aglaonemas, and this is one of the ones that I chose. Now this one was not labelled, but I've been doing some research and kind of looking at lots of different Aglaonemas, and I think this might be Aglaonema pastella. I'm not 100% on that though, because there tend to be quite a lot of variations of these, so the exact name of it I'm not sure, but that would be my best guess at the moment. But it doesn't really matter, I suppose, all in all, because you know it's an Aglaonema, so that's all we need to know really. But it has some really stunning variegation, this one. I had to get it. It just really kind of spoke to me and stood out. They had quite a few Aglaonemas there, but this one was one of the ones that just really spoke to me. I thought the variegation in it was beautiful. It's got some really beautiful kind of peachy tones in it, which is nice, and then it's got some dark bits as well. But yeah, I just thought it was really pretty. I often tend to find that Aglaonemas tend to be a bit beaten up when I find them, but I seem to get lucky this time round. Maybe they just had the delivery in or something, but they were looking quite nice and healthy. So yeah, I snapped this one up. There's only one plant in the pot, so you know it probably would benefit from having another one in there to make it look fuller. But I had to get it anyway because it's just so stunning. It really is beautiful. Aglaonemas, I think, offer us some of the nicest variegation and some of the easiest care as well. And if I just turn it around like that, you can see it kind of has peachy coloured stems, which I thought was really nice, and you get that colour in the leaves too. I don't know how much of that is showing up on camera, but there's a really lovely kind of peachy colour. That's what makes me think it might be the Aglaonema pastella. There was another one which was very similar to this one, but it had a bit more red in it, and I am denied about that one too, but ultimately I decided to go for this one because it's a lot softer, and yeah, I don't know, this is the one that I saw that said take me home. So it does have a little flower there, but I will be cutting that off because the flowers are very boring, I'm afraid. They tend to just be plain white with a kind of a green sheath. So I usually cut them off. I think most people do because, let's face it, we buy Aglaonemas for their beautiful leaves, don't we? And then I was lucky enough to find another Aglaonema that I've been eyeing up online for ages. This is Aglaonema aqua green. And yeah, I just haven't really come to ordering it online. It's fairly expensive and I wasn't sure if I'd like it, but seeing it in person, and again, I'm not sure how well this is showing up for you on camera, but it has some absolutely stunning variegation on it. It's kind of like a muted translucency to it. It's almost like you can see through the layers, and there's all these kind of nice silvery colours and greens and yellows and all sorts coming through, and it really is pretty. And again, it's a very healthy plant too. I have actually seen this before. I saw this one in particular in this same garden centre last time I was there, but I didn't buy it because they looked a little bit beat up, but maybe they had a nice new delivery in, because this one doesn't look beat up, it looks nice and healthy. They only actually had 2 of these, and yeah, I thought this one was the nicest looking one, so I chose this one. And yeah, I'm really glad to have this plant in my collection. In person, it definitely looks way nicer. It's one of those plants that you can't really appreciate the kind of the nuances in it until you see it in person. So if you've been the same as me, looking at photos online and not quite sure, yeah, the photos definitely don't do it justice, and probably this video doesn't either, because as I say, it has some absolutely stunning colours in it that you just don't see unless you have it in front of your eyes. And yeah, I think it's obviously less colourful than the other Aglaonemas, but I like that about this one. It's, like I say, it's almost like it's got layers to it, and you can kind of see through each layer, and there's almost something different every time you look at it. But I think it's a very gentle colour, kind of very calm and pastel-y. And yeah, looking forward to growing this one. It is one of those plants that's kind of just been hanging around on my wish list for a while, and I've kind of ummed and ahed about it, and finally, now that I've got it, I think, yeah, it's really beautiful. So if you're umming and ahhing about this one too, and you're thinking, is it nice? Yeah, definitely get it, because like I said, when you get it home and you see it in person, especially if you're ordering it online and you're not sure, it is worth it, I would say, and it's really pretty. I think it's one of those Aglaonemas that I don't necessarily see that much. If you search for them on Instagram, for example, there aren't many out there. So yeah, I don't think I actually said the name of this one. I did put it on screen for you, but yeah, this is Aglaonema aqua green, I think, because I'm pretty sure, because I've looked it up, and there aren't really any other Aglaonemas that look like this one. But yeah, so let me know what you think of the plants that I bought. They did have in Webs a really nice Dischidia watermelon, and I really wanted to get it, but it was looking very sad, and I suppose there was a chance I could have asked for a discount maybe, but Yeah, it just was really sad. It looked like it had been battered, and I decided not to bother. It is a plant that I've had on my wish list a while, and you don't see it around much, so it's a shame they only had one and the one they had was battered, but never mind. I'm really pleased with the plants that I got, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you think of them. Do let me know in the comments what you think, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.